apologize for the technical delays. We are in the top of the fourth here at Historic League Park.
Yes,
And
we are. We still have Zalafa at the mound. Unfortunately, the bottom of the third saw the Falcons bring an 11-7 lead to the table, putting the deficit back up to 4 for the Lakers, whereas the Lakers on offense, well, more likely at the bat, only managed to get Philip Cole on to first base. Unfortunately, that was about all they had. Got some pitching practice for Zalafa here.
well, to the to be fair to the Lakers, pitching has been a problem, but they've fixed that problem, adding Salafa to the mound, and I think that's what helped the turnaround, along with a couple errors on Garrett Morgan's behalf. So we will see how this fourth inning plays out for Max Hayes.
Well, I would add the caveat that Salafa does have one weakness. Particularly, he's put up 4 balks in the last 2 innings, 3 of which were in his first outing. If that's not cause for concern, I'm not quite sure what would be.
I don't think that's really a cause for concern. I think strategically in his mind, he's trying to cut the runners off and try to limit the scoring. And if that's what he was thinking, then I'm going to go ahead and give him that. I'm
But
going to
at
go
the
ahead and
same
give him that.
time, if you're just letting runners go through, that's not going to do all that
At
much.
bat is number 12, the pitch, and that is going in for a ball, going
Low
outside.
right side there.
Zalafa taking his time. Pitch. And
Ooh, batter
strike.
flinched.
Zalafa's windup compared to Phillips is vastly different. And there's a strike low and outside.
A swinging strike there. One thing I noticed about Salafa is that every time he goes for the pitch, his glove hand does a little circle. I'm not quite sure if that's distracting to the batter, but I have to imagine it would be.
Pitch. And there's a
Oh, foul
foul.
off to the left.
So number 12 stays alive.
It remains 1-2.
And the reason I mentioned the reason I mentioned the conspiracy theory earlier was because when you looked at Garrett Morgan, they took advantage of Phillip being a little tense on the mound. And now that we see
Oh,
both pitches,
swinging strike. Out
and
number
there's a
1.
strikeout.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
But again, now that we see that both Zalafa and Phillip have settled down, the pitching has increased and improved for Max Hayes. And I think that that's why the conspiracy theory, quote unquote, kicked in because as we see, the Lakers are still in this game. And I'm wondering with new pitching,
And it's
is,
another strike for Zalafa on his first
is this
pitch
going
on
to
the new
turn
mound.
around? And that's my question to you. Do the Lakers have enough to turn it around?
Well, if he's first 5 or anything to judge by, then it certainly looks like it. Oh, it's a
High
high one. Bounces
off the
off the
fence.
fence. It's a foul. That's 0-2 now.
And Zalafa ahead in the count. And this is what you want as a pitcher. When you're ahead of the count, you have control of your pitches. You have basically control of the sequence and the at bat. And number 3 is he's looking like he's going to get tensed.
Ooh,
And
it's
that
a
is a
wide
ball, low and
outside ball. He
outside.
wanted to catch him swinging.
And he thought about it. Number 3, if you looked at it, he thought about it, but he didn't go through with it, which actually saved him. I think
Smart
Zalafa's
batting.
trying to get him to chase.
Smart batting. Pitch coming in.
Pitch. And that
Ooh,
is
it's a
strike
free
3.
strike, and that's out number 2. Back-to-back strikeouts for Zalafa. He has turned it on the mound.
And for Garrett Morgan, we have number 11. We apologize, we do not have Garrett Morgan's roster at the moment. But nevertheless,
Number should work for now. Got number 4 on deck waiting for 11 here.
2 outs. Zalafa on the mound looking great.
He hasn't let a man on base this inning. Pitch coming in. High
High.
ball.
Number 11 ducks that one.
Salafa seems to have a certain pace about him. It seems to be in this bit of a mid-range because we saw with the Falcons pitcher, he takes it very, very slow. We saw with Cole in the first inning, he takes it a bit quicker.
High for ball 2. I agree because when you, again, I mentioned the difference between Philip Cole and Zalafa. likes to be more methodical. He wants to wait for the pitch to come, you know, that signal for the right pitch. And this is what we see. That is ball three.
Wiley Zalafa picks up ball number 3. Getting
Number,
risky here.
number 11, very patient with this at bat. He's up in the count.
I don't think he swung once.
He has not. I imagine he wants to swing away with he's being up in the count.
I would imagine. Pitch coming.
Pitch. That is
Ooh,
a strike.
number 1. He wanted ball 4.
That was inside, and Zalafa knew it. Wind up.
Zalafa also likes to play with these edge balls. He likes to make them swing when he knows they can't hit it. But 11 seems to be
And
impervious.
that is ball 4.
Ball number 4, and we've got a man on first.
Number 11 will take his walk. And this is where it gets tricky for the Lakers because as we've seen all game so far, Garrett Morgan is a bunch of thieves. And I don't mean that in a bad way. They've stolen about 10 bases this game. And by our count, that's if you're a pitcher on the mound, that's scary when runners have stolen at least 5 bases. And in Garrett Morgan's case, here we go.
It's another strike running for second, and he'll
he
easily
makes it.
get there.
And there's an
Fielding error. He's going to run for third. Gets by the outfielder as well. He might run for home. He will.
And he's going to take
you
home.
could say goodbye. 12-7.
Number
a steal
11.
turns into a run.
Number 11 waited his turn and was patient, and he ends up scoring. I believe that was a ball.
And we got a ball here as well for number 4, who's at the plate. It has certainly been an interesting game, to say the least.
The fielding errors on these stolen bases has really been. And there's a high ball,
it's a
and it's
long
going
one
foul.
right side. Will he catch it?
Oh,
No,
that one's gone out to the corner towards Lexington on a foul.
Looks like it took its way out.
But nevertheless, when you brought it up, I thought about it, and realistically, on these stolen bases, the problem has become
strike 2.
Strike. The problem has become the fielding errors that have been produced trying to catch that runner, and that was strike 3 called, and we are going to the bottom of the 4th now. 12-7 for the Falcons.
Once again, Zalafa stops the bleeding.
And again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. For those at home watching, Garrett Morgan in the orange and blue jerseys with the orange caps. Max Hayes with the blue and gray jerseys and silver with grayish caps.
We do apologize. We should have clarified that earlier.
We've been trying to fix the technical difficulties, but we finally have it under control. So thank you guys for tuning in.
Indeed.
So far, what are your thoughts and what have you seen out of this game between the Lakers and the Falcons?
Well, so far this is one of the highest scoring baseball games I have ever seen.
It happens.
It's also definitely the highest scoring one I've personally seen.
Well, to be fair, really realistically, I think this has been one of those games where both teams are hot.
Just not on the mound.
That's something that has to be fixed, and I'm sure it will be fixed. But at this point, we've seen the bleeding stop for Max Hayes. So I think if Max Hayes can get some runners on base and then put them in scoring position, I think this game is going to be a lot closer towards the end of the game.
Agreed. And if the second inning for the Lakers is anything to go by, well, let's just say they've got more than a chance.
Now, with that being said, are you surprised at the comeback by the Lakers?
Am I surprised at it? Slightly. I mean, going down 0-7 in inning 1 is not exactly a great start.
Nobody wants to go down 7-0. Not even the Guardians.
Well, let's not go there, huh? Well, but anyway. I do think that they have shown a solid amount of guile throughout this game. They have not given up at any point.
And that's the point I wanted to make, and I wanted to emphasize. They have not given up, and they've made this game a lot closer than we originally were thinking going into the second inning.
Agreed. We have Joel Miranda coming up to the plate first.
Miranda 1 for 2. And
Oh, he bombs a long
He's got
one.
a long one.
Can the outfielder
It's
get
gonna
to it?
drop.
No. He's got the first base and he'll stop there.
A long single for
If that was just a bit
Miranda.
further left, that would have been a double.
The center fielder and the left fielder did good to get that ball under control because I think Miranda wanted to take second.
Oh, he absolutely did. If that was a bit further to the left or right, that would have easily been a second base. But that center fielder put in work on that run. He ran so fast his cap came off.
Hey, sometimes you got to get there.
Got the next man at bat here. It is Wiley Zalafa. We got strike one.
Zalafa trying to make a case.
His batting in the first 2 innings was excellent, but last inning, didn't even get to see the plate.
Miranda leading off.
Ooh. Miranda gets looked at by the pitcher there. Miranda going to take a few steps off. Zalafa, pitch coming in. Ooh, foul.
Tip. I noticed this bat. Zalafa's crowding the plate a little bit more, making the pitcher pitch into his power, so to speak.
Yes, he is a little close on the plate there, isn't he? Alternatively, the pitcher could just put it high.
And actually, and when you think about that, when a batter is actually crowding the plate like that, he actually takes away the strike zone just a little bit. So you're essentially forced into pitching
into
for
the
a
last
hit.
2/3.
Exactly, but you're either going to pitch into a hit or a hit by pitch.
That'll be a called ball.
Does he make it? And he
to
does.
First. And the first baseman
Miranda
doesn't even throw to second as Miranda makes the steal to second.
I honestly don't know why he didn't throw it. He actually had a shot.
He did have a shot, but I think that he thought that since it was a ball, Miranda would be out at first.
So Zalafa calling for time now that there's a runner on second. Does this change your thinking?
If Zalafa bats one far to the right, he might have an RBI here.
There is a big gap in right field.
It's high risk,
You're
though.
absolutely right.
High risk.
But a big reward if he can get it.
Indeed.
The pitch. He swings.
Oh, it's a high
it
one.
Looks deep and just foul.
And it'll swing foul. That's unfortunate.
Zalafa took a shot. It looked good.
He almost had it there.
It would have been a high one, bounced off the green monster, is what we call over left center field or left field.
Ooh, Miranda taking a few too many steps off the plate there. Gets looked at by the pitcher.
And there's a ball. He
rolls
steals.
out of the catcher's hand, running
And
for
he's
third.
gonna make
Miranda's
it to
got it.
third. And now the Lakers are becoming thieves of the den.
Man, Miranda has put up a great base running repertoire here.
Suicide squeeze looking like it.
Question is, do you hit a sac fly here?
Actually, I go for a bunt.
Good planning. Make him choose.
And that is
Ooh,
high
high one.
for another ball. So the count is now
Full, 3-2.
so 3-2.
Now the pitcher's got to make a decision. Do you let him on
Zalafa
base?
putting a lot of pressure on this pitcher.
Well, now the pitcher's got to make a decision. Do you let him on base, or do you try to strike him out and risk Miranda coming in?
Wind up the pitch.
Bounces
And he
out of the
strikes
pitcher's
out.
hand, but a strikeout nonetheless.
Now he's out. He caught Zalafa looking when Zalafa should have took off, but one out. One out.
And now
And
we
a
have
runner on
Ian
third.
Riua. Ian Riua comes to the plate now. Pitch coming.
Pitch.
Oh, he faked the bunt.
That is number 9.
That is Ian Riua.
Riua.
And we'll have one ball so far.
Riua thinking what we were thinking and trying to get Miranda in. He swings. It's a high fly ball.
High flyer.
And they
Goes
get to
left
it.
Field.
And they drop
Bounces
it.
out of his
And
hand. Miranda's coming home, baby. 12-8.
There was no communication, and Because of that, now the Lakers are back to within 4
That
with
is
a runner
never
on
something
first.
you want to see. The second baseman, shortstop, and third baseman, and left outfielder all trying to battle for that ball, and none of them get it.
And that's where the communication kicks in, is where you're supposed to talk and let each other know, I got it, back off. But they didn't. Now we have a runner on first and a run scored. So that will go as an RBI for Ryua.
And now we have Resto at the plate. Resto, sorry.
High,
Ooh,
ball
high
one.
ball near his head.
Ryua looking to take second. He had to be pushed back.
Ryu is staying close to the first base there.
And they just
Pitcher
try to
tries
cut
to
him off.
get him.
And
No
it's like,
shot.
ugh!
Fielding error. Ryu is going for second. He's got it, and he's going to stop. And another steal for the Lakers here as Ryua makes it to second base.
Now, does the question I have now is, do you swing or do you sacrifice him over with one out? Because if you do either, it looks like you can put Ryu in scoring position. And I'm willing to bet, I could be wrong, but I'm willing to bet this is where you swing away.
I'm willing to take my chances at this juncture.
You're up in the count.
Ooh,
All right, now you're tied up. So
strike
one ball,
one.
one strike.
Decent so far for Resto, the center fielder.
Resto.
Interesting stance from him. He's got his front foot behind his back before he
And he
swings.
chases one in the dirt, so that'll be strike two. I noticed that. It looks reminiscent of I want to say Chuck Knobloch to a degree.
Well, the interesting thing about it is the second he swings, he steps right into a normal stance.
Usually how it works. He's trying to he's I want to say he's going to take away some of the strike zone, and then he's got to.
That's strike number 3. We've got out number 2.
Oh, you're down 2 outs in number 6.
Looks like Ryua will stay at second here, and it looks like Ekanea will come up to the plate now.
Now, a shorter batter takes away a little bit of the strike zone for the pitcher.
Yes, it does.
And that will
Doesn't
be
swing
strike
on his
one.
first one, a free strike. Do you think Ryua tries to steal here if he gets an easy ball?
I would try to, just because you're down on the count. And he swings
Ooh,
it up
one.
high.
That's going to be a free
Do
one
they
if the
talk?
catcher
Do they
gets
talk?
it.
And
And he
it's
does.
out. Number 3, and the side is retired.
That's out number 3, and we will be switching now to the top of the 5th. 12-8, Falcons lead.
I gotta imagine, if I'm the Lakers, I want to be a little bit more aggressive at bat. You know, this is you're down 4. You're still in this game. You're down 4. So this would be, when you come up to bat in the 5th. This would be the time, if you can get a final at bat. This would be the time you start being more aggressive and swinging for the fences.
Well, they will have one advantage over the Falcons here. They will have the distinction that they will have the last at-bats of the game. My colleague taking a moment here. I will be on for now. Looks like Salafa is going to be 7 runs.
We've just been informed it'll be 7 innings to this game. So there's still a chance for the Lakers to come back and make this a game, or possibly win it.
They've got 3 more sets of outs to finish it out. However, like I said, they do still have the advantage of going last in the order.
I agree, but I wish, I'm not going to say I wish, I think if I'm the Lakers, I have to be more aggressive at bat. We have to be attentive to the pitch. We have to force these pitchers to pitch into us.
I do agree with that.
We got to force them to make bad decisions at the mound, and if they can do that, this will be a great turn, because now you'll put more runners on base, maybe even drive a couple in, and who knows what can happen in the 7th inning.
But of course, we do still have to get through the Falcons, which will definitely be a problem.
Well, with Zalafa at the mound
And
with a strike.
Looking strike to start her off.
With Zalafa at the mound, it doesn't look like defense is going to hurt too much.
And I was going to bring that point up. Zalafa has been killer on the mound.
And it looks like Phil has moved to second.
Almost brought the bat in the box there. I'm not sure if that was a ball.
That is a ball. So 1-1. Zalafa looks. Pitch.
Pitch coming. Ooh,
And
another
another
ball.
ball. Ball two. 2-1.
Man, I wish my voice didn't crack so much. Zalafa. Next pitch coming. Ooh, a looking strike.
Now 2-2. And in essence, Zalafa is commanding the count. Zalafa, pitch. He
Ooh, low
doesn't
hits
get
the
number
dirt.
21 to chase. So it's a full count.
Here it
Pitch.
comes.
And there's ball four.
Ooh,
That
ball
was
four,
close. I'm
ball
not going to
four.
argue with it, but that one was close. Zalafa trying to get him to chase, but it doesn't work out.
Tough call from the ump there.
He made the think about it, though.
Well, we do only have one perspective, so.
Sometimes it's not always the bad perspective.
Well, I didn't say it was a bad one.
The
Just said it
runner
was
on
only one.
first, and Zalafa looking. Oh, might be a shift in the order.
Zalafa. He's got one on base.
Wind up the pitch. He bounces
Oh,
a
it'll
chopper.
bounce to the third baseman. Looks for the throw to first.
Does he get
Does he
him?
get it?
Got
Yes,
him.
he
And he goes to
does.
third.
The Falcons got a man to third, but it'll cost him an out.
I'm not mad at that strategy. Realistically, you have to get somebody, and this is what I talk about when I mention the aggressive side of your offense. You got one out, but you got one to third. So now you have another chance to extend your lead.
I'll bet you the Falcons will be looking for a fielding error here. They've been rampant all game.
I don't think with this the way this defense is looking now, I don't think that would be a problem. But I don't see it happening, being that Zalafa has been very in control of his pitches.
Well, Zalafa's not the man to worry about in my mind. Oh, a balk lets her run
Another balk,
through. It
and
will
that
at least
brings
take the man off the base, but still no good.
it gives them a run. So the Falcons extend their lead 13-8, back down 5.
That's no good. That's no good at all. Though I will say that Zalafa does seem to perform better without runners on base. Speaking of, a
Strike
free
one.
strike.
Now, but the only problem I have with this is I don't think you should be too hard on the pitcher for a balk, considering he's trying to get his footing. He's trying to make sure he has what he needs in order to make the pitch. Pitch. Oh, low and
That'll be another
outside.
ball. 1-1. As you were saying?
I just don't agree. I'm not going to say he's wrong. He's enforcing the rules, which is what an umpire should do. I just think
Ooh, foul to the left.
I just think he could be a little nicer, but I could be wrong. I'm not an umpire. I'm just watching this from the perspective of a broadcaster, and I just really think, the way he's been pitching, and maybe this is his style.
Well, after his fourth balk in the third, the ump went and gave him some serious lip for that.
There's a
Low
blooper
one rolls
to
to the
first.
first,
Does
goes
he
to the
get
third
him?
baseman. He won't
He
get it
will
there in
not get him.
time. Another man on first. And it looks like the Falcons are finding their footing once again.
Oh, this is where defensively you got to come up with something. Some Zalafa has to change up his pitching style if he doesn't want another balk. He's given up 5 balks, and I believe 3 of them have turned into runs.
Yes, and 3 of them were in the second inning alone.
And that's not a good thing. So how do you fix that if you're Zalafa at this at bat?
He's got to tighten up his pitching, in my opinion. Get some strikeouts, that'll fix that immediately.
Runner goes, and there's a
Ooh.
strike. Goes off the catcher's glove,
Strike bounces off the catcher's glove.
but nevertheless,
It'll send the man back to first. Now, one thing I've noticed about Zalafa's pitching is that he is killer in the early count. He's got a good habit of getting strikes.
And that's what I mentioned earlier. As a pitcher, you want to be up in the count so you can command it. If he can command this count, he might be able to slow down the bleeding as far as the den of thieves stealing second and stealing third.
Yeah. Speaking of, Zalafa just got a little lip from the umpire, almost
Runner goes
balked
again.
again. It's a free strike. Pitch goes back to first, and the runner will get to second.
So another runner steals second. Again, this is the aggressiveness of the Falcons on offense. They love
That it
stealing second,
is.
and he might take third. He's got a big lead.
Doing some dance moves back there near second.
He swings
Oh, it's a
one.
long
It's a
line
big
drive
gap
to the
into
left
right
field. You can
It's
say
dropped.
goodbye to both of them. Number 7 rounds first as the first man comes home.
He's gonna
7
take a
rounds
double.
second.
He's gonna take third. Can he make
He's
it?
looking at third now,
And
and
he
he will
does.
stop there.
So another run scores, and it'll be 14-8 in favor of Garrett Morgan.
Bad break there. Number 25 comes up to the plate now. He is the pitcher for the Falcons.
He's been very good today, outside of some of the errors that have been made in the outfield and the infield. Rafa looking at the man at third. Wind up. The pitch.
Ooh, bounces off the catcher's mitt, but I believe that's a strike. Waiting on the umpire call.
Looks like that's going to be a ball.
Yes, it does. Lakers still only have one out here.
The pitch. And that one's going
Zalafa
to go
goes
low and
ball again.
outside for ball 2.
Starting to lose focus a little bit.
I don't think he's losing focus. I think it's finally catching up with him that he needs to be in command of this count. And I think he's trying just a little too hard to be in the command of the count.
Pitch coming around. Ooh, that's a strike.
That's a very good strike. Garrett Morgan looking like they want to try a suicide squeeze.
They just might.
I wouldn't put it past him, but this is one of those scenarios where you have to think about it. And he swings
it's
one.
a long one.
It's high.
It goes high.
And it goes foul.
Go foul. A second strike on.
So again, Zalafa high up in the count.
Just surviving.
Counts at 2-2 now. He has command of this.
But there's only one out down.
Very true, but if you could get this guy out, you won't have too much to worry about.
Well, if they can get this guy out, a sacrifice flies out of the question.
Exactly. Zalafa. Wind up. The pitch. And he bounces one to
over
second.
Zalafa. It goes into the second baseman's hand.
A
An
man
out at
scores.
first, but a run in.
So RBI driven in by the Falcons.
The Lakers will receive a second out, but it'll cost them a run.
It is now 15-8.
Up to the plate comes big number 12, I believe that is. Yes, I think that's 12. And we'll see when he swings.
It is number 12.
Zalafa getting ready for his next pitch. Again, with no men on the bases, he seems to perform well. Ball for one.
All Zalafa has to do is get out of this inning, and I believe he can. He has the ability to, so we'll see.
Well, we've seen he has the ability to, primarily in the third. Pitch coming in. Oh, swinging
Got him to
miss.
chase the outside, low and outside. So low and outside brings him strike 1. 12 chasing. If you can get a batter to chase, you have a good shot at strikeout.
Zalafa. Oh, a high one.
Inside.
Ball number 2.
You also got to think about how these batters are approaching Zalafa. Some of them are actually crowding the plate, trying to get Zalafa to pitch into their power.
Most of them are attempting to use patience to their advantage. Ooh.
That is a strike.
Center strike. The batter managed to flinch there, I believe.
He thought it was going to be high and inside. It is right down the pipe.
Zalafa. Pitch in.
Strike
And a
three
strike
called.
down the
Caught him
middle,
looking.
and we get out of this.
Caught him looking. So Salafa
We enter the
doing.
bottom of the fifth. 3 more runs allowed. But Zalafa is still showing some poise.
Again, you're only down 5. But do you actually. You're down 7. I apologize. You're down 7, but can you get yourself out of the situation? And Zalafa did. So the bleeding has stopped. But with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with the bottom of the fifth. If you're looking for a good brand of clothing at affordable prices, then TGBG is just for you. Hats, shirts, hoodies, and custom gear all at your fingertips. And just in time for the weekend is Free Ship Friday. Free shipping on all orders. Just use the code FREESHIPFRIDAY at checkout. And all Godfidence items are 10% off. Head on over to tgbgbrand.com and get your orders in for your custom clothing now. TGBG is the official outfitter of the 216 Sports Network. TGBG, to God be the glory. Are you looking to change up your everyday look? Have a sports team or just want something casual to wear for the night? TGBG Apparel is here for you. From athletic wear to something nice to go with your outfit, TGBG has what you need. Hats, shirts, hoodies, and everything in between. TGBG will get you right for the night and at an affordable price. To place your orders, email them at tgbgbrand@gmail.com or head on over to tgbgbrand.com now. To God be the glory. Got a taste for something sweet? Planning a party? Or just want a midnight snack? Clarissa's Confections is a local treat maker here in Cleveland and has made many delectable and delicious treats for the young and old. Her treats are made to order and can be customized to your needs and any occasion. To place your order,
Braden Gonzalez, that's a sub.
and we have a substitution
It
as we
appears
are
that
returning to the game.
it appears that Braden Gonzalez has entered the game. He'll take a ball early.
Gonzalez looking to make a spark a
Pitch comes. It's
high
a
and
high ball.
outside. It, looking at Gonzalez,
2-0
the shorter
count.
batter,
Got a 2-0 count so far. And that's a
and
strike
that
right
is a
down the
strike.
middle. I'll tell you what, this Falcons pitcher is really picking up the pace now.
Swing. Oh, ball. It's strike 2.
Strike 2.
So now the count is even.
He's going to make him swing.
Looks like he wants him to chase. Gonzalez. He
Gonzalez
swings.
swings, line drive, second baseman catches, throw to
And
first.
it gets him out.
That's an out. Good defense there from the Falcons to start out.
It was a good hit, but you know, if you're gonna chop it, I think with this Garrett Morgan defense, with this Falcon defense, I think you got to chop it to make them run and pick it up. Because if it goes straight to them, they have the arm strength to actually get it to first. As we've seen with some throws today, some have not made it, especially when it's time to try to catch a runner.
And again, apologies for the audio. Another helicopter has flown by. That'll be ball 1 for it'll be ball
Pitch
1.
is number 12.
Number 12, that's Gabe Hauk as he swings and misses.
That'll be strike 1 for Hauk.
We'll have Philip Cole up at the plate right after him. That'll be ball 2.
Thing about tall pitchers is you don't see that ball coming out until they're halfway down the mound.
That is true.
And it goes
Ball
high
number 3.
Ball 3.
I'll tell you what, he's thrown a lot of balls so far, but he still hasn't let a runner on base.
I think he likes to put the ball in play, which most pitchers do. But he does have the ability to strike a person out, as we've seen.
And a swinging strike, 3-2.
Actually, that's what we were just talking about. He has the ability to throw strikes and strike people out. So
And there's the proof.
There you go. There's a prime example of getting a batter to chase or swing.
Already on a full count here with 1 out. The Lakers have got to make
And
it out
that
of here with something, and
is
it'll be a
ball
walk.
4. So the Lakers, 1 out, 1 on.
I mean, they really can't afford to leave this inning without at least 1 or 2 runs.
You are absolutely right. And again, I think this is where you get aggressive as Phillips' bat
Cole.
is a pencil. And I love it. Education and the swing all in the same strike.
Oh, one of the man at first ruled safe. Philip Cole still waiting on his first at bat. Sorry, first pitch. Sorry.
That goes for
That'll be
strike.
strike 1. Caught him looking. Caught him looking.
Low and inside. Low,
That'll be ball
low,
for Phil.
ball. Phil did not have the best.
I think it's his form, personally. Umpire talking to one of the side judges.
Think, the umpire directing the bullpen to have another batter, no, excuse me, another player with a glove and a hat to catch a foul ball.
Smart move, I'd say.
Phil didn't have the best pitching appearance today, but he has made some plays, and the pitch that is high.
That'll make it 3-1. Sorry, 2-1.
Phil did make up for it. He got himself out of the last 2 innings.
Well, the first 2 innings, technically.
Very true. Wind up. The pitch. High.
It's another high one. 3-1. Referee telling number 20 over on the right side to look out. He's very concerned about these fouls.
As we've seen, these fouls have been dangerous.
Yes, one almost came and hit us.
The pitch. And he
Oh, and a
chases
swinging
a
miss.
low
Full
and
count.
inside one. Now the count is full. Phil had a good eye on it. Just sunk.
Philip Cole looking a bit streaky today. He's out on and he's out off. But more so, it's been off.
Wind up coming. Pitch.
And
And
it's
he
a strike
strikes
down
out.
the middle. We got
Caught
2
him
outs
looking.
now.
This pitcher has been on fire tonight. When he's got a man looking,
It looks like number 25 might leave a man stranded on first here.
let's hope not.
Next up at the plate, we have Jaden Orango. He's been money today. Ball number 1.
Orango. And Orango has showed he can actually play this game the way it's supposed to be played, both offensively and defensively.
He's put the ball into play multiple times, and I believe he's driven in 1 run while putting 2 away himself.
And you know what? I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to say he might be.
Ooh, foul goes left.
If the Lakers can come back and win this game, he might be player of the game.
I think he very well may be, especially if he can drive in 2 runs now. Of course, that'd be quite the achievement, considering there's only 1 man on base, but
Anything's possible.
true.
Orango.
Waiting on the pitch.
Taking the lead. The pitch.
25 slows the pace
And he
down
strikes.
again, and he gets a looking
He gets a
strike.
strike. I thought that was a ball considering how Orango moved. But nevertheless, 1 ball, 2 strikes for Orango. The pitch.
Ooh.
That one's high, 2-2.
25 slowing down the pace once again.
I think he has to slow it down depending on the batter because as we've seen, Orango's been on fire today.
Well, he sped it up with Cole, and now he's slowing it down with Orango. Perhaps a bit of strategizing.
The pitch. Ball.
Ball 3,
Full
full count.
Now,
Only way this goes, another pitch is a foul.
honestly, if I'm Orango, I'm thinking bunt. I don't know why. I'm just thinking bunt.
Well, if he does bunt to the left side, it may very well get a runner to second, especially if his guy is fast enough, but I don't think that's a risk I'd
The
take.
pitch. And he strikes
Strike
out
three,
Orango.
and the
And the side is retired.
and so the Lakers end the fifth with no runs, and it stays 15-8.
Again, this is where I talk about this being aggressive. You gotta make this pitcher think about how he's gonna approach you. And I'm not saying that to be bad. I'm saying that because you're down 15-8 and you have to bring yourselves back. You've done it before. You've done it to the point it was 9-7. And then for whatever reason, it just got out of hand again. So now when you're down 7 runs, you have to take the aggressive approach. And if not, again, Garrett Morgan's going to be running running away with this one literally.
Yeah, I think I think the main two things that have got to happen here is, first of all, Zalafa's been doing great, just flatly, but he still has to stop the bleeding. He's let 3 runs in this last inning. He's got to do better this one, or this game might just slip away by the 6th. The second thing I think has got to happen is that, quite frankly, the Lakers just got to hit more balls.
And that's the thing about the pitching for Garrett Morgan. Garrett Morgan's pitching has been tricky as he's thrown sinkers, he's thrown a little bit of curves, he's even thrown some chasers. And it's put the Lakers in a situation where they don't know what's coming, so they don't know how to approach it. The thing that's helped out, the Lakers have had a couple of hits. There's also been some fielding errors, and that's what you got to rely on something outside of the fielding errors.
Well, at the same time, speaking of fielding errors, the Lakers do have a few of their own to wrap up.
That is true, as we saw earlier. So I'm going to go with the assumption that with that, this is coming to where if you're the Lakers, stopping the bleeding is one thing, but getting back in the game is something that needs to be priority right now.
Right. I think for right now, Zalafa has got to focus in on his pitching. Because quite frankly, he does good when there are batters on base, but he does much better when they never get there.
Actually, I think we'll have a new pitcher for this at bat,
Oh, will we?
or this inning, rather, as we are at the top of the 6th.
Well, we'll see the moment he stands up. Appears to be tying his shoe. Always smart to do that.
Very well.
Oh, the last thing you want to do as a pitcher is trip and fall on your face.
Hey, it's happened to the best of us.
It appears number 13, perhaps 12, is taking the plate. That is Gabe Hauk.
Out, and it looks like there's number 16 at on the mound.
Number 16, apologies, that is not Hauk, that is Joel Miranda.
So Miranda taking a turn. See if he can
Now
get
Miranda,
some work out here
Miranda's
on
been
the
looking
mound.
good on the offensive end here. We'll see if he has what it takes on the back half.
Well, anything is possible right about now.
Of course.
A pitch, high for ball one.
High ball. Would you mind taking this? Just for a minute? Cool, thanks. I just wanted to break from sitting. Second strike comes through. That's a strike straight down the middle.
So one ball,
Second
one
pitch,
strike
sorry.
for Miranda. Miranda, his first outing at pitcher. High
Oh,
for
that's a
ball
high
two.
one. Sails right over the catcher. That'll be 2-1. The on-deck batter for the Falcons, they're going to hand that back to the ump.
Miranda just getting his sea legs. Wind up. The pitch.
Pitch coming.
A great
Ooh,
swing.
swinging
So
strike.
strike two. And now we're looking at an even count.
It almost looked like he batted that straight into the plate.
That wouldn't be a problem if had he connected. And that
Ooh, low.
in the
That'll be
dirt.
ball 3. Joel Miranda seems to be going pretty quick about this.
I think he wants to try to get ahead of the count. And he was there up until that last pitch. The pitch.
Strike
Strike
down the
three!
middle, and we've got a strikeout for Joel Miranda. Good start.
So Miranda showing he can do it as well. So Cole, Zalafa, and Miranda out here throwing strikes.
It's a solid start from Joel Miranda here for the 7th. If he can get 2 more of those, the Lakers will be in prime position. Well, to come back at least.
Miranda,
Ooh,
ball
ball.
one.
Just barely low there.
I think Miranda's trying to get this batter to chase. This was the same one that had 3 stolen bases in for.
Ooh, swinging strike. Looked like that one hit the ump in the knees.
It looked like it, but this was also the same batter that had the fielding error. He took 3 bases and then scored on the same at bat or on the same sequence. Excuse me.
Yes, he did.
He walked and then took 3 bases. The pitch,
Ooh,
strike.
strike. The swing wasn't quite into the box,
1 ball,
but
2
it doesn't.
strikes.
Swing wasn't quite in the box, but it doesn't matter when it's straight down the middle.
The pitch, Miranda,
Ooh,
high,
high ball.
ball 2. Miranda, pitch,
Ooh, hit by pitch.
and he is on a base. He's on one.
Got a man on first now.
So a man goes to first as he is hit by pitch. Miranda wanting to slow down. Miranda wanting to slow down, but don't know if.
Next man on the plate. Miranda's got to worry about a man on first now.
Wind up.
Ooh, a
Strike
swinging
one.
strike runs for
And there's
second. He'll get it.
and a stolen base. So that runner advances to second.
Number 11, he's still dangerous.
He had a great jump on that pitch.
That he did. Pitch comes in. Ooh,
Strike
swing and
2.
miss.
This catcher has to do a better job of holding on to those pitches.
That he does. He should be thankful number 11 didn't make a break for third there.
I think they told him to hold up, but nevertheless.
Well, I wouldn't blame him. It'd be a silly run for third, but that's how it is, ain't it?
Sometimes you can't be greedy.
Yeah.
Miranda ahead in the count.
Ooh,
There's the
foul. Bounced right back.
No balls, 2 strikes here for Miranda, right-handed pitcher.
Miranda's still got to watch a man behind him.
He does. Swing, strike 3,
Oh, bad
but he
swing
doesn't
and
hold
miss,
on
but the
to it.
catcher doesn't hold
So
on.
runner
Got
advances
runners
to
on first and third. That is the worst way that could have panned out.
and there's still only 1 out. So runners at the corners. Runners at the corners for Garrett Morgan. And you got to wonder. The pitching, not even the pitching, the catching woes for the Lakers.
Yes, this is starting to turn on to the catcher now.
We don't want to blame it. Another runner goes.
Runner
He will
runs for
take
second, and he'll easily get there.
So runners on first, or excuse me, runners on second and third with 1 out.
Two
And
guys
Garrett,
in scoring position. If he hits a line drive to right, this game might be over.
the Falcons looking to add more to the lead. High for
Ooh,
ball 1.
high ball. He almost bit on that as well.
I saw that. I thought I was the only one that noticed that.
Miranda with the next pitch. Oh, fouls right off his bat.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Funnily enough, rose right back into the catcher's hands. Practically a straight line from the mound to the back. Miranda. Here it comes. Ball.
The good thing about this scenario for Miranda is there's no runner that can steal third, so that's not something you have to worry about.
Well, there's no one that can get a steal at all right now, actually. So
Realistically, you could suicide squeeze this one, but I don't think they want to do that. I don't think that's you'd hardly see that in high school, but it's still prevalent.
true.
Ball
Ball, and he
four.
walks. Bases loaded.
So now the bases. So now they really can't steal, but any hit will drive in a run.
Every base filled. This ain't good.
Bases are juiced with number is that
14.
13?
I believe he's got
Number
3
14, and
RBIs
he
on the
looks
game.
like he's ready.
I believe he has 3 RBIs on the game. This is going to be bad.
See if Miranda can get out of
Takes the
strike
first one.
one.
That's a strike.
We'll see if Miranda can get out of this inning. You can turn a double play out of this.
You can, but it'd be high risk.
I wouldn't say that because if you get a double play, the run doesn't score
But if you
and the
miss the
inning's
double,
over.
but if you miss the double
And
play, you let 2 runs in.
there's another one in for a strike. You are correct, but again, if you can get a double play out of this, the inning's over.
With the fielding errors this team has suffered, I just wouldn't trust it.
You gotta be. Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that one. Miranda
Ooh,
and
ball. We got a man
he
coming
spoke
home.
it up,
He gets in, and a man will stay on third, one on second.
and that will drive in another run. So it'll be 16-8 in favor of the Falcons.
I tell you what, the Lakers, when they come into this next at bat, they have got to figure something out.
I I tend to agree on that one at this point. It's now or never for the Lakers. Three pitchers for the Lakers that they've gone through this game.
Yeah.
Miranda, it's
Oh,
high.
high one. That's
It's
going to
over
go
our heads,
foul. Bounces right by the visitor center.
and that will be a strike.
Tell you what, I thought that one was going to bounce off that pole, come hit us.
We've already had one almost hit us.
Yeah.
Miranda, and he hits
Ooh,
another
it's
one. It's a
another
high
one.
fly ball.
High right. It
It
goes
drops right
into
in front of
play.
him. 1 run scores.
1 run scores. We got a second coming around. 2 run
2 run
scores and
score.
a man on third.
There's a 2 run RBI triple
Man.
for Garrett Morgan with a runner on third, and it is now 18-8.
Well, I got to say, I think that one might have just done it.
I agree. That like, what do you do after you're down 10?
Well, I suppose you just try to load the bases and hit grand slams, but that's easier said than done.
It is, and Miranda's still at the mound.
Oh, another one
Another
drives
hit,
right between the third baseman and the shortstop. We're going to have another one come in. Number 8 gets the first base, and now it's 19-8, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Oh, dear. Well, I don't mean to be
Rains.
dramatic, but this has become a travesty.
When it rains, it pours.
Yes.
A runner on first. 19-8 in favor of the Falcons.
We'll see if the Lakers can even crack double digits by the time the next at bat.
Runner goes, and he drops it.
He'll make it to second unopposed. Now, keep in mind, we still only have 1 out in this inning, so there's potential for things to get much worse.
And how do you combat that?
Well, I suppose that is the question, ain't it?
Miranda, the pitch.
Oh, foul, straight
That'll
back.
be fouled back for strike 2. Miranda. There's
Man
a
tries to steal
line
third. Line
drive,
drive goes to center field.
and there's a runner
We're going to have a
coming
man
in.
in, and a fielding error leaves the chance for a double. He'll get it. A double with an RBI.
It
20
is now 20 to
to
8.
8. And an out not even given. So now
So you're down 20-8 with one out in the top of the sixth.
So now the Falcons have a 12-run lead, one out in the inning, another inning to go, and a man on second. I don't know how it can get much worse than that.
I don't even have an answer for that. I don't have a response, a rebuttal, an educated guess. Miranda throws
It's
ball.
another ball. The hits just keep coming.
Literally. And the good thing you have to like about Garrett Morgan is these hits have been strategic. What I mean by that is they've been aiming to get on base, just make contact to get on base. And because they've made contact to get on base, like right
More
now,
contact slips through the pitcher's hands, slips through the shortstop's hands. We'll have a man on first and third.
so runners at the corners, they've been making contact, like I said, and because they've been making contact, they've had extra base hits off of these contact hits.
I mean, it's just playing better at this point.
I have to agree. I have to agree, and this is one of those situations where the Lakers might have been outmatched. The runner goes,
And he's going to make it to
and he's
second
going to make it to
without
second.
issue.
Runner looking to take, and there's a foul.
Foul back.
That'll be strike one. Miranda has to get out of this inning. This would be the time you wish for a double play or you pitch for a double play.
True.
A pitch. High. Ball two.
Then again, a double play will be significantly harder with no one coming to second.
I agree. But you could take home and you can probably catch one at third if that runner decided to take third.
And if you're quick enough about it, and if there's no fielding errors.
And you're absolutely right on these fielding errors. That is.
Ooh, a high
And another
bounce.
runner
We're going to
comes.
have a man home.
And he got him.
Ooh, called out by Miranda.
But there is a runner on third. Two outs. A runner on third. Two outs, a runner on third.
The extra out will definitely help. But even still, not a great position to be in.
I agree, but again, this is one of those where we said Miranda had to get out of this inning.
Yep.
And there's a strike.
Ooh, a 2-2 count now.
2-2 count.
Oh, and a
There's a
strike
strike
down the
three.
middle.
And there is the side retired.
Well,
and we go to the bottom of the sixth.
The Lakers do manage to get off defense for the inning.
But they give up 12 runs in
Give up
that inning.
5.
Oh, excuse me, 5.
They now have a lead of 12 runs.
I apologize. This one's it's got me. I don't even know how to feel
Honestly, if
about
I had to keep track of this many runs, I'd be pretty shook as well.
you know what? This we weren't. I was not expecting this coming out. Historic League Park, beautiful sight for those who are wondering. I was just not expecting the. I was not expecting this to turn into what it turned into.
Yeah, neither was I.
But because it has, we have to take into account that Garrett Morgan just has the better offense at this point.
Well, the stands have mostly filed out. I think I can count about 8 people besides us here.
When it rains, it pours. Like I said, it's just a matter of this was one of those scenarios where you couldn't stop the bleeding early,
True.
and because you couldn't stop the bleeding early, this is the end result.
Just a sad sight. Just a sad sight. Looks like we got got a few more filing out. You can count that number down to 6.
While we have a moment, we actually like to take time out to thank CMSD and the Baseball Heritage Museum at League Park for allowing us to be here tonight. If you would like to donate to the Baseball Heritage Museum, you can go over to www.baseballheritagemuseum.org/donation. Help them build this site back to where it was originally. As you can see right now, it's beautiful here. And this is also the site of the 1920 Cleveland Indians World Series and the 1945 Cleveland Buckeyes World Championship for the Negro Leagues. So this is a great site to be at.
And in the meantime, Joel Miranda will be leading off for the Lakers, and he almost gets hit in the face right off the bat.
That will be ball one.
The outs. The outs.
Ball one. Miranda trying to get this pitcher to give him something to swing at.
Ooh,
As ball two.
ball 2. He almost bit on that. Came very close. Joel Miranda will get a third shot at it. 2 balls on count.
That'll be
And that'll be
ball
ball
three.
number 3. He almost swung at that again.
But he's been patient, so this might get him on base. And
It
this
very
might
well
be able to kickstart the Lakers for another run.
it very well might. Problem is they need 12 of them.
Again, we've seen stranger things in sports happen,
True.
and
Strike down
that
the middle.
is a strike. So you're still up in the count, 3-1.
I mean, I feel like you take at least one swing, right?
You should, but again, this is not up to us. We're not at bat.
Miranda ducks, ball 4.
And he will get two bases through balls.
Next man in line comes up. It looks like it will be Zalafa.
So Zalafa had a great start to his pitching outing, but then it turned ugly. And we will see what he does with his at bat. Miranda on first. Miranda taking the lead.
Miranda
And he got him.
called
He is
out.
picked off.
And that is the last thing that the Lakers wanted to see.
I was not expecting that, but here we are.
Indeed.
So this is turning ugly as you've been picked off. You've been stolen. Bases have been stolen, and it's just I don't know what you do as a Laker in this particular game. I don't know what you do to correct this, but I'm pretty sure you're going to look at film later on and turn this into something positive.
I best hope so. Ball 1. It is currently Zalafa on the bat.
The pitch almost hit him,
Whoa! Zalafa almost gets cracked.
skinned his butt.
Pitcher knocked his hat off with that one.
I guess that was him trying to throw the best strike he could.
Well, let's hope not. Pitcher again taking his time. Pitch in.
Low
Ball.
and away.
He might just do the same thing to Zalafa. Let him walk, then pick him off.
You know what? I could see that, given that we were not expecting that to happen. Ball four,
Walks
and
him, but
Zalafa walks.
in terms of that strategy I was talking about, I think that might be a bit higher risk, considering that Zalafa, I would argue, is a bit quicker.
Zalafa, yes, but if again, I don't know if Miranda wasn't paying attention, but regardless of that, if Zalafa can get this pitcher off his focus, this might be a situation where he can spark a
Ryua's
high
first
pop
at
up
bat, that's a high one going to center field.
and
Caught
caught
by the
for the out.
second baseman.
So 2 down for the Falcons. And number 7,
Here comes
Rivera,
Rivera.
comes up to bat. Rivera looking to make something happen. You got a runner on with 2 outs.
Whoa,
And,
steal coming in, and no
and
one's there to
Zalafa
catch
makes
him.
it to second.
The second baseman wasn't even there. And now Zalafa in scoring position.
And Rivera in bunt, showing bunt. The pitch.
Ooh,
Low and
swinging
inside
miss.
for strike 1. There's a foul.
That'll make it 0-2, yes?
Sir. 20-8 here. Falcons lead.
Two
Bottom of the
strikes,
6th.
2 outs. It's not looking good. So far, Rivera has swung at both, hit one of them.
Zalafa looking to steal.
Balk called, and Zalafa
There's
gets
a
a walk
balk
to third.
by the pitcher. And Zalafa will take third.
And that there is the first balk for the Falcons today.
Ironically, I'm glad you noticed that because I was not keeping track of that given that this pitcher has been pretty much lights out so far.
Yes, he has.
The pitch. Swung
Oh,
on.
it's into play.
It
No one's going
drops.
to catch that. Looking for the ball at first.
And
Got him
got
out. And that'll take us to the top of the final 7th inning. Still 20-8.
Actually, I think that might be it.
I wouldn't be surprised if they called
That's
it that.
Yeah, that's it. 10-run lead. Oh, think we lost. I think this game is over due to time, but nevertheless,
A domineering win from the Falcons there.
I can't say anything more than that. You took the words right out of my mouth on that one because we, again, were not expecting Garrett Morgan to just literally become thieves and even more so dominate the Lakers as we did, as we've seen.
I mean, let's just be honest. Better pitching, better stealing, better hitting, better fielding, better strategy. They had them beat on all angles.
Very true. And again, this is one of those things where you're going to go back to the film, go to the chalkboard, and you're going to just take time to mull over this one as you have you have to. This wasn't a bad loss, but it's a loss that is going to make you think.
Well, either way, the game ends 20-8. And we will see you on the next time around.
We'd like to thank you guys for watching. Tune in for us to be here May 5th. We will have that game as we get it. I believe it will be Cornerstone versus Garrett Morgan. And if Garrett Morgan plays like this against Cornerstone, we might be in for another treat. So thank you guys for watching. We will see you guys later.